Welcome to Adventure Tuesday. Today is going to be a little bit different, but you know, what day is not different here on the homestead, here at Homestead Living, Thousand Roots. Every day is different, right? It's, every day is an adventure. So today we're going to be doing some outside work. We have come into our rainy season. So when we have days where it's not raining, as my lovely wife, the most beautiful camera woman in the world, reminded me this morning that when we have not rainy days, we really need to take advantage of it. So, and today is not supposed to be raining. So we're going to go out to the swale and plant some trees.
Tree planting adventure.
Tree planting adventure. Now this swale, which is kind of cool because this is our original swale. This is the first swale we ever put in. That's of decent size. We put this swale in, how long ago, honey?
About 5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, it's been
Something
a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And this swale, maybe, I don't want to name it this, but it's kind of getting there, is like the tree killing swale.
Right, swales are meant to be
Food growing systems.
Food growing systems, yes. But this one has not been producing due to many different...
Yes, there's lots of reasons, but nonetheless, this swale has killed
a lot of trees.
Yeah, a bunch of trees.
Cows, dogs, mostly have done the work to...
Cows and dogs on the swale.
Yeah.
Have destroyed lots of trees, killed lots of trees.
But now it's fully fenced, and we're gonna go give it some love.
Yes, so everything on the swale actually has a chance now.
Yay! That's exciting.
But we're probably gonna have to do some maintenance on the swale first.
Right. And you're about to stoke the fire here.
Oh yeah.
So that we can take off for a couple hours and still have a fire going when we get back.
Alright, so part of the adventure is clearing some grass, weeds with the big weed eater here.
Right, so we have a trail and can get in there, access it better.
Yes, we're not dancing around in there. Oh no! I'm getting grass against my leg!
I was thinking more so ticks, because it's still warm enough for those crazy seed tick hives, huh?
Yeah, if we stepped right on a hive or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's not ticky anymore.
Yeah.
Generally speaking.
Right. Okay, so no grass dancing?
No grass dancing. This is not impenetrable, but
This is crazy.
when creation wants to put up a defense against human beings' encroachment, creation knows how to take care of business.
It sure does.
My goodness.
Somewhere in this jungle there are some trying to survive fruit trees.
There's a tree right here.
Yep, there's one right there.
It's got leaves at the very top.
That's an apple, yep. It's got just a few little leaves right at the tippy top left. But it's completely devoured by all these crazy weeds. Do you think the machine's going to be able to take all this out so we can get in there?
Well, we're making some progress.
Alright, this is why we in the future want to have sheep and geese in here, but we've got to fence around all of the trees individually as well.
Gotta protect the trees.
Right, or the sheep and the geese will take out the fruit trees.
Right.
So that's the challenge with this swale is maintaining it, keeping all these weeds back so that the fruit trees can actually grow. These big tall ones that are taking up most of the swale are blue false indigo. Those are the support plants, and they're doing great. You can see they're just jamming all along the whole swale. They're doing fantastic.
They thrive in adversity.
Yes, they thrive in adversity.
Adversity. And that's what we want here. We want things that only thrive in adversity.
Right.
Because there's going to be adversity here. So that's ideal. So maybe this little apple tree, if it survives, maybe it'll thrive in adversity too.
Yes.
Alright, so there's some woody weeds in there that it already broke one of my strings off.
Yeah, and you only made it like 10-12 feet in, huh?
Yeah.
This is a 175-foot swale, is that right?
Correct.
Yeah, so that machine's not gonna cut it.
Nope.
Gonna have to figure out some other way to get in and access everything.
Literally, it's not gonna cut it.
Are we having an adventure yet?
It's always an adventure.
What do you guys think? This swale's a jungle, isn't it?
This may be a really bad idea.
What are you doing, love?
I'm gonna try wire for that weed eater because I'm just sick of the strings breaking.
All right.
It's counterproductive to have the strings breaking all the time.
Right.
So, let's see what happens.
All right.
Alright, like I said, this could be a bad idea. Right after I started it, this is what that turned into.
All right. So plan C. What's plan C, love?
I don't know yet.
Okay. I think maybe these are plan C. All right, so plan C is to do single wire instead of multiples and actually twist them onto the mechanism, huh?
Twist them on a little bit, yeah.
Yeah.
Like this one. I put 2 twists on it.
Thankfully the really woody weeds here are not along the whole swale. A lot of it is more grassy and the machine should be able to knock down the grass, no problem. Why are we standing way back here, Nady?
Just in case they fly off.
Right. We're standing at a distance to make sure it's safe. The first time he put them on, he put 3 or 4 on each side and they just went flying. So we're staying at a safe distance here during this testing phase.
Yep.
All right, love, how'd that go?
Well, we lost another one.
So one stayed and one fell off
Yep.
again?
And the twist came out.
Okay.
So that's kind of curious to me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to try twisting it in the opposite direction.
All right. Sounds like a plan. So how'd it do twisting it up? Fall off again?
Yeah.
Okay. So the metal's just not working. It's not staying in there.
Alright, so I'm just going at it with the loppers right now. Nathan's going to get the weed whip, the hand weed whacker thingamabobber.
Yeah.
And so we're just going to go after this. I can't get that big weed eater to hold metal string. And the regular string just, well, I'll show you how woody this stuff is and how thick it is.
Yeah.
No string, none of the string I can get won't do that. So
if we can get past the woody stuff here, then there's more grass. You can take the machine through the grassy areas and just do the woody areas by hand.
Yep.
All right. Sounds like a plan.
All right. And we need a new string for the weed eater too.
All right. What you got there, Nady?
Weed whips.
What's that?
Chocolate.
Oh, he's got chocolate in his mouth. So this is a weed whip. We were gifted these by somebody.
Like 5 of them.
Yeah, 5 of them. A few years ago, and we've used them a ton, huh? Yep. Alright, the guys have been hard at work here, clearing a trail. It's looking much better. I just went back to the house for about 15 minutes and they've already cleared a bunch. Got some buckets of soil to fill in a hole where we lost a tree. Got some more wire for you.
Thank you, honey.
And then this is going to be our first tree going in today. This is a Methley plum tree. Just a little plum. It's going to be taking the place of a hardy almond that we lost.
So this string, I think we ordered on Amazon. It's the biggest I can find, 0.155. That's the diameter, how thick around it is. The biggest I can find. Comes with this little tool for cutting the string.
Oh, nice.
So you always leave one in there
At the right size.
that you know is the right size, and then you bend it, and it pops it.
Well, he's making it through, guys. So far so good. Most of the rest of the swale was just a lot of grass and not as much of the woody weeds. So he's almost to the end of it. Woohoo! Y'all having fun? Alright, so here's where our first tree is going to go today. Didn't have to dig much at all because I think this is where our dogs actually dug up a seedling. So there's already a big hole here. So we'll just plant this tree in, and then I've got some buckets of soil to fill in around this hole so it kind of levels everything off here again. Here we go. Another tree planted. And it's no longer, it's not going to be sitting in a hole here. I filled it in with dirt. You can tell back here is where the swale is. And there is a bunch of water down there. So these trees get plenty of water. They don't need to be sitting in holes up here on the swale. That would be too much water. Woohoo, you made it! Good job, love.
Thank you. Before? After.
Yay, happy apple tree.
Alright, so this blue false indigo is actually a support species because it's a nitrogen fixing tree, or it draws nitrogen from the soil. So I'm chopping them up around this fruit tree so they can break down. It's a type of mulching. Mulching it. The common permaculture term is chop and drop, where you just chop it and then drop it at the base. But dropping this big piece, this will take like 3 years to break down if it's just dropped like that.
So you're chopping it up to make it.
But if you chop it up into smaller pieces, it'll break down a lot quicker because it has more ground contact all the way around.
Alright guys, now that we have an access trail all along the swale here, I've got my map where I wrote down last year this time what trees were still alive and what varieties. So we're going to see how they all survived and see if there's any bare spaces where one of the trees died that we need to replace, because we've got some trees that are in pots and they're waiting to get in the ground. We need to get them in the ground before it gets too cold. So hopefully we can totally plant out the whole swale with healthy trees. In the future, hopefully we can find more ways to maintain all these crazy weeds. We may do some landscape fabric, or we may end up fencing around all of the fruit trees and bring in some animals in here. Small animals, not cows. Small animals to help keep it clear. Look who came to visit. Is she sleeping?
No, she's just really tired.
Is she? Thanks so much for helping with the little zester pie. They've been having fun, huh?
Mhm.
Are you tired?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, kinda.
Hey, sweetheart. Are you sleepy? And Nadie just reminded me it's lunchtime, huh? So I think we'll do a quick walk and just see where we're at and then take a lunch break. All right, tree number 1 is a wine sap apple. And it's just one straight shoot here. But it's got nice green leaves. It looks like it's still alive, so there's hope. Next up is the newly planted plum. And here's a Cornelian cherry that is alive but not thriving. So we're gonna have to do something to help that one out. Next, Nadie's working on clearing around a Reliance peach that it's still got some green leaves on it, but the bark down low has suffered a little bit. We're not sure what did that, but it's taken a beating. So we'll see how that one goes. Next is a Cresthaven peach that's doing okay. It's got some green leaves on some of the branches, but it's also been chopped up here. That's probably from the geese. Before we got this fenced off, the geese were in this area and they like to just peck at the trunks of these trees. But we'll give it a chance. Maybe it'll make it. Next is a Stamen Apple. What do you think about this one, love?
I think it's 95% dead.
Looks like 95% dead. There's a tiny bit of green leaves, but it's like leaning. It's almost halfway to the ground. So do you think we need to probably just put something else in there or give it a chance?
I just cut off this little nub here where we'd want to prune it anyways.
And it's green.
There's green.
Alright, so maybe we can stake it up so it's standing upright again and give it a chance. Next is an Arkansas black apple tree that's looking okay. I think we can leave that one. Next is a Moonglow pear, and they haven't cleared around it yet, so it's hard to see. It has no leaves, but it has some new green shoots coming on. So hopefully that one will be all right. Next is an iris pear, and I don't see any leaves. Oh wait, here we go. Yep, there are a few little leaves on here. Alright guys, so the rest of the swale is still a bit jungly. I'm not gonna venture down there just yet. I'm gonna go work on some lunch. It's mostly just wild plums the rest of the way. However, I think we do have one more pear down here that looks really good. So all in all, it's looking better than we thought. There is a lot of damage from when we had cows and geese that had access to the swale, but the newer trees are looking pretty good, and all the wild plums seem to be pretty good too. They're gonna keep chopping and dropping that blue false indigo while I go make some lunch. For lunch, I'm gonna make some of these black bean noodles and add a little bit of tuna and probably some kale from the garden to just make a quick pasta. And then we'll have some jun to drink. So far everyone's really liking the jun, so I'm gonna keep on making it. I've been flavoring it with a second ferment using blueberries and ginger. So there's options, 2 different options of flavors for people to choose from.
Yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome. Alright, lunch is over. Back to it. What do you have there, love?
A chestnut tree.
Yep. I think maybe there's an open spot down at the end of the swale for that one, huh?
Yeah. Let's check it out. See if we can fit it in.
Sounds good. And Caleb's here to help. So we found an empty spot here where we can put the chestnut, but there's a bunch of the support bushes here. Blue false indigo, so Kip's clearing them out. Got quite a few of those to clean up here along the outside of the fence line. Kip and I were just saying it'd be awesome to have a chipper to be able to chip all this up and then put it in our compost or use it as mulch, but maybe someday. I'm momentarily distracted by the ducks. They're so fun to watch. They're just right behind the fence line here. Pretty birds.
They got like a checkered pattern on their chests.
Yeah. That's a nice hole, love.
This is how much clay is in our soil.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of clay.
That's right there. Yeah, look at that.
So we put a little bit of compost down in the hole to help this little guy out. This was a chestnut that we grew from seed, from some chestnuts we got from a guy who lives locally. Yay, another tree planted.
All right, y'all. Thanks for joining us for another Adventure Tuesday. We've got, now this swale, 175-foot long swale, is planted out again with food-bearing trees. Because we have nuts and we have fruits, so just food-bearing trees.
Yeah.
And I'm cleaning it up and everything. Hopefully we'll have success with all these trees on here.
Yeah.
Y'all willing, that's the hope.
Mm-hmm.
So thank you for watching. I pray blessing over you and yours, and whatever you do it with your whole heart.
I think the ducks are getting excited with Caleb over here. They think it's food time.
Oh, they noticed Caleb.
Yeah, they saw Caleb standing there. They're like, "Hey, food! You're our food. You're our food guy." Not quite time, guys.
Some pretty ducks there.
Yeah, beautiful ducks.